So here's something for you that you've almost certainly never heard about. There's been like one little bottom of the front page article on this for like one day in like a major English language news website. It's about like an actual real massive corruption scandal in Uruguay, which has deeply implicated the right-wing current president, Luis Lacalle Pou. Unbelievable. His last name is a combination of the street and Pou. He's Pou Street, basically. But he is deeply implicated in like this scandal because the head of his like presidential security, who you can see here in this photo right here, photographed running, man, he's like the North Korean guys who run along the car in a suit, but he's clearly not fucking fit out for it. Look at the guy. He was the head of presidential security, appointed directly by the president. And last year, in around, I think it was like September, October, he was arrested because like chats filtered that implicated him in like a scandal of like selling passports to like rich Russians for some reason. And then, you know, this was very weird. And it turned out he actually had on his criminal record, like 5 years ago, he had on his criminal record like numerous convictions for document fraud, like forging documents, very Beau of the Fifth Column-esque. He was appointed as the head of presidential security, despite the fact that he had very recent criminal antecedents for literal document fraud. And then he proceeded to forge passports for random Russians for some reason. And the president had said that he didn't have a criminal record or anything. And then later on, chats filtered that showed that actually, yes, he did know about this guy's criminal record. So that was pretty inconvenient. And it's also inconvenient because it turned out that this guy was doing a lot of other shit. For example, he contracted LAPI private intelligence firm from Miami to spy on opposition senators because there was like a referendum going on that would basically destroy the entire right-wing government's terrible platform. And there were two opposition senators who were like the most vocal ones, some of the most vocal people who were against it. This guy, the head of presidential security, contracted a fucking Miami private intelligence firm to spy on two opposition senators, of course from fucking Florida. Where else? Where else would it fucking be? And then after that, it came out that the president also told him to report to him the physical movements of his recently ex-wife. And very recently, they actually found a screenshot that was on his phone of a chat directly to the president talking about where his wife is flying. Directly from this fucking guy, the head of his presidential security. Like, you know, okay, where is she going? At 5, she needs to be at the airport. We don't know where she's going. I'm checking it. Okay. And like he's telling him about like where she's going to the airport. This guy has his fucking WhatsApp. This isn't a fucking like insecure like WhatsApp chat. Great fucking OPSEC. You're the fucking president of a country. And he's on his fucking WhatsApp account with a picture of himself with a presidential sash. It's like almost unbelievable, but it is real. Asking this guy about where his ex-wife is flying, literally using the head of presidential security and migrations to stalk his ex-fucking wife. The reason why all we have of his chats with the president directly is a couple of screenshots that he happened to have on his phone is because the prosecutor on his case said that because the president asked her, not even like a legal obligation or anything, he just asked her nicely, like informally, please don't look at my chats with him. And she agreed not to. She openly said it. That's why she didn't do it. And then it turned out that she had liked like a bunch of like posts on Facebook and Twitter supporting the president, of course. And now the guy, the guy who did all of this for the president has coincidentally accepted a plea deal with the prosecution for 4 years of prison that completely avoids a trial, that completely avoids having to enter any evidence onto the record. They skipped the trial entirely. He just agreed to go to prison for 4 years. So there's going to be, you know, no new evidence being found, no new evidence being presented because he came to an agreement with the same fucking prosecutor who, just because the president asked her, agreed not to actually check his chats with this fucking guy who was clearly working for him to at least like spy on senators and stalk his fucking wife at his command. And now she just comes to like an agreement with him that conveniently avoids a potentially very compromising trial that could like compromise the president even more than he's already compromised. Wow. Amazing stuff. So there was also another incident that was just very funny. So this guy, Astesiana, he went to I think it was Qatar? No, he went to Dubai. For some reason, he came back with what was reported to be 454 kilos of frozen fish from Dubai in diplomatic luggage. Like officially declared diplomatic luggage. Now, if you don't know where Uruguay is, let me show you, okay? Uruguay is here, right? Now, that's the Atlantic Ocean. There's lots of fish there. There's lots of fish there. So it's pretty safe to say he wasn't actually bringing back fish. And then someone asked the president, what exactly the 454 kilograms of fish in diplomatic luggage, in like officially declared diplomatic luggage, was for.
Todo lo que quieran conversar.
Just look at his body language, the way he talks to. It's like a fucking joke for him. He knows like he's untouchable because the media, doesn't report on this shit or anything. And he comes from like a powerful business family and shit, and he's the president. And he knows he can just say whatever here. He's like, okay, like can you give us like some clarification?
Es lo referido al pescado congelado que llevó en un embarque.
450.
And he's like, yeah, 455 kilos of fish.
De pescado.
And why did you bring it?
454 kilos de pescado.
Usted mandó un caballo también.
No, yo el caballo lo mandé a Qatar.
And he also sent a horse to Qatar. What the fuck?
Para comerlo.
And he says the fish was to eat. The 454 kilograms of fish brought from Dubai to Uruguay across the world in officially declared diplomatic luggage, which migration was not allowed to actually check because it's exempt from custom checks, was fish to eat in Uruguay, a country on the Atlantic coast with its own fresh fishing industry. Like, this entire scandal is absolutely fucking insane. They are obviously like making a fucking joke of everything. And they haven't been impeached, nothing, there's been no consequences for them whatsoever. Like, the guy who did this was doing it all obviously because the president told him to do it. And the reason why they didn't go to trial is obviously to not implicate the president more in the potential evidence that would have had to been entered onto the record during the trial. And the fucking prosecutor on the case specifically fucking said, just because the president fucking asked her informally, she didn't look at the chats between him and this guy. When they're right fucking there, and what little evidence we do have of the chats directly with the president are incredibly fucking compromising, showing him literally sending this guy to spy on stalk his fucking ex-wife for him. Stalk his fucking ex-wife. Like, where is she going? Where is her flight going? What time is she leaving? Tell me now! And have you heard about this in the Western media? No, you haven't. Of course not. Because it's a right-winger. It's a corrupt right-winger. Uruguay is a country that you only know about because it has a president who drives a cheap car. It has a footballer who bites ears off. And it was in a funny Simpsons joke once. Haha, you are gay. But now you also know that it has a far-right president who is impossibly corrupt in very obvious ways, for which there is insurmountable evidence against him, even though the right-wing prosecutors are desperately trying to avoid it seeing the light of day. And now you also know that, I guess. Though you won't really see it in a fucking New York Times article. But if a left-wing political figure in Uruguay had bought some jeans with his ministerial credit card, you could fucking bet it would be front page fucking news in all of the American papers of record. It's such a fucking joke, man. This is so much more compromising evidence than any supposedly left corruption scandal that they ever fucking conjure for the purposes of lawfare. But they don't talk about it. And we know why. It's fucking bullshit. The only one to face consequences is basically the fall guy who was doing all this on the president's behalf. Probably gonna, he's gonna be sent to a prison where he gets basically a fucking luxury hotel room the whole time, doing whatever he wants. So it's not even real punishment. It's how shit works if you're a right-winger.